Hey everybody, Moarhammer here. I've got another battle report for you. It's a pretty brutal one. It's a 1600 point game, my Khorne Bloodbound against Beastclaw Raiders. It's the first time I've fought them since their new release, or ever for that matter, so I was looking forward to getting right into this one. So, here is a picture of deployment, and as you can see, there's not really a whole lot on his side. On my side, however, starting on the far left, I have a unit of 5 Wrathmongers, then a Slaughter Priest, a unit of 30 or 40, 30 I think, Blood Reavers, the Blood Scraper in the middle there, behind them is a Blood Stoker, and then to the right, 2 units of 10 Skull Reapers with an Aspiring Deathbringer and a Skull Grinder. Then on his side, his pitiful side, on the far left, just behind the Dragonfate Dais, he's got a unit of 4 Mournfang. Then in the centre on top of that hill, he's got first a Thunder Tusk and then a Stonehorn. Then on the far right, just to the right of that Realm Gate on his side, he's got a unit of 3 Yetis. We'll play the mission, number 2, Blood of Glory, I think it is. And it's the one with the 4 objectives, one in each kind of one in each fourth quadrant of the board, and if you control all 4 of them after the 3rd battle round, you win. Otherwise, it's whoever controls the most at the end of the game. He also does have a hunter and 4 saber tusks in a kind of reserve type thing, and they can come on the board edges. So there was that too. I finished deploying first because my entire formation is in the blood marked warband formation, so I let him go first because that's what I wanted to do. And may not be the greatest move in the world, to be honest. He charged everything forward. His Mournfang come around that bit of terrain. His Thunder Tusk comes forward, so he was just within 18 inches of my Blood Secretor. You see what I'm doing there? And the Thunder Tusk ran within 12 inches of my Skull Reapers. And the Yetis on the right-hand side as well, they kind of just move around a bit of terrain. But not a whole lot to move, because he's only got the best part of, 6 models? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9 models? Yep, I numbered a bit. So in the shooting phase, his Thunder Tusk takes aim at my Blood Secretor and rolls that 2 up, so it does 6 mortal wounds. Nothing I could do. I did take that magic item that gives me the 6 up save, but it didn't matter. Didn't roll any 6s, so just I died, and that was that. So we go straight to the charge phase, and his Stonehorn manages to slam it here without any difficulty at all. And he does 5 Skull Reapers in. That's a total of 15 wounds he does, which was absolutely brutal. So this thing is nasty on the charge. He does actually an extra floating wound onto another one as well. He does take 2 or 3 wounds back in retaliation, but not too massively. And after my Skull Grinder and Skull Reapers pile in an attack, he's lost a total of 5 wounds. So not a massive amount, because he does halve the number of wounds that actually go onto him. So it was pretty good. However, he's in a terrible position because I've got my unit of Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers right there next to him. So we jump into my turn, and I do 2 things. Firstly, I move my as many Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers within 3 inches as possible. I do put Lord of War, the command ability, on them, so for +1 attack, +1 to hit, and my Aspiring Deathbringer uses a +1 attack command ability. My Blood Stoker, whips the Blood Reavers. So I was hopefully going to just charge them straight into that Thunder Tusk. I knew I wouldn't do that very well, but I only need to take off a couple of wounds to stop him doing 6 mortal wounds, as opposed to so he's doing D6 rather than 6, which is a massive difference. So that's what I was going for. I've got absolutely no shooting to speak of, so we go to the charge phase, and my Blood Warrior Reaver's Maker, I actually roll like a double 6, +3 for the whip, so I'm at a massive charge across the board, which is fantastic. Then I pile in over here with my Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers, and I do decide to go with them first, and I managed to put it down to 12 wounds total. So really, really smashing it apart a little bit, which is fantastic. Exactly what I needed to do. As it's only got 2 or 3 wounds left, so that's ideal. When he attacks back, however, he does manage to kill my Skull Grinder, which is sad, but hey-ho, I can live with that. Then I attack over here with my Blood Reavers, and I put 3 wounds onto the Thundertusk, which I think is enough to take it down. I'm not quite sure. It doesn't matter, but I'll get to that in a second. When he attacks back, he kills 1 Blood Reaver. Yep, just 1, because it's rubbish. Then over here, I attack with my Skull Reapers, and it doesn't stand a chance. The whole thing comes crashing down, and that's amazing. So it really piled into the wrong angry blokes here. So that's fantastic. So we go to his turn straight away, and there's pretty much nothing happens except he regenerates all 3 wounds on his Thundertusk, because he has one of the Hunter guys on top that can do that. He just heals D3 wounds per turn on a roll of a 4-up or something. And he goes through the combat phase and he kills 2 Blood Reavers. I did forget to mention, whenever a character in this army dies because of the Blood-Marked Warband, I pick a non-hero model, and that model detaches from the unit and then becomes a hero. So those 2 Blood Reavers that aren't in the units are heroes now with +1 attack. So they're just running off to claim objectives, basically. That's all they need to be doing. Yay! So yeah, he kills 2 Blood Reavers, no problem. And I attack and do really, really well. I do 6 wounds onto the thing. I think I roll a 6 for my unpredictable destruction. So I'm getting +1 to hit. So 3s to hit, rerolling 1s. It's not bad at all with that many attacks. That's fantastic. So, yay. So then we go to my turn again. I move my Wrathmongers towards the Mournfang, hoping to get a charge on them. I whip my Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers and they charge off towards the Yetis. And everything else kind of just stays in the middle where it can do its thing, or do their thing. I also charge one of the Blood Reaver champion guys off towards the objective on the on the top right hand corner. So in the charge phase, my Wrathmongers slam straight into the Mournfang, no problem. That's fantastic. And that's the only charge I had, so I do that combat first. My Wrathmongers alone managed to kill a whole Mournfang and put a wound onto another, which is fantastic news. So he attacks over here with his Thundertusk, and he doesn't do too badly this turn. He kills 6 total Blood Reavers, but there's still plenty of where they came from. So I pile in around him, and I think I do another 1 or 2 wounds to him, not too badly. So they're slowly whittling him down. Then he piles in over here and attacks with his Mournfang, and doesn't do too badly. Kills 2 Wrathmongers total, which is obviously quite good for me because then I can get to attack with those Mournfang. That's what I do. They attack each other and kill a whole Mournfang and put 2 wounds onto another, which is fantastic. Or put 3 wounds on, I think. So one's down to 2 wounds, basically. So then we go to the initiative roll-off, and I win it, which is not a bad time to win it at all. I charge my Skull Reapers off towards the Yetis again. I whip them so they get extra charge. Other than that, not a whole lot happens. In the combat phase, the charge phase, sorry, my Skull Reapers do manage to make it into the Yetis, no problem at all. And immediately hack apart 2 of them and putting 1 on 1 wound. So doing fairly well there. Then he attacks over here with his Mournfang, able to kill all 3 Wrathmongers, no problem at all. And then they eat themselves and kill themselves. Brilliant. So they all delete each other, which is absolutely fine by me. That was worth the trade. And then over here I do another couple of wounds to the Thundertusk, and he has now got 2 wounds left. So rather than counting up, it's counting down. So they're actually doing pretty well. They're holding up quite well, nicely, and I'm quite a fan of that. Over here, he attacks with his remaining Yeti. I don't think he does anything, though, not of note. I think I'll make my saves. And when he attacks over here with his Thundertusk, he kills 2 more Blood Reavers. And that's absolutely A-OK by me. And there you have it. That is the end of the game. He concedes there. I think I win there directly. My I think one of my Skull Reapers was just within 6 inches of one of the objectives, or the objective on the right hand side, which means I control all 4 objectives in the third battle round. So there you go. A swift but no less bloody game, which seems to me that most games against Beastclaw Raiders would go. Just short, sharp, to the point, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So, yay. Great game. And I'll let you know now, as soon as this game finished, we re-racked our models. So, in the next couple of weeks, you'll see an exactly the same Beastclaw Raider game, but it went very differently the next time. I'm just kidding. We're going to do it now. Oh yeah, double bill. So, here's a picture of deployment again. We have moved the scenery around a little bit, but so there we go. So on my side, starting on the far left, the big unit Blood Reavers, they're just doing their thing. I've got a Slaughter Priest behind that bit of terrain, where I've got my Gore Slick Blade Skull Reapers, behind them are the Wrathmongers. Then I've got my other unit of Skull Reapers to the right of them, behind which is the Skull Grinder, and to the right of them are my 10 Blood Warriors. And then right at the back of the board there in the middle, I've got my Aspiring Deathbringer, Bloodstoker, and Blood Secretor. They were just staying well back to make sure his Thundertusk couldn't just take him off turn 1. Again, I deployed first. I deployed everything with 1 drop to make sure I could go first. And then on his side, in the middle there, he's got a Thundertusk. Oh, sorry, on the left hand side, he's got a Stonehorn. Then he's got a Thundertusk behind the other side of that building. Then he's got 3 Yetis moving across the right hand side, and then 4 Mournfang Cavalry. And then he's got his Hunter and 4 Sabertusks in reserve, which he totally forgot about last game, but it didn't make a difference anyway. Then we're playing the first mission this time, Take and Hold, where we have 1 objective in the middle, 9 inches away from the board edge, and if you control both of them at the end of any turn after the 3rd battle round, you win a major victory. So, because I'd finished deploying first, I let him go first. Again, I knew he couldn't really do much with his Thundertusk. That would be fine. I was just hoping he'd bring him as far forward as possible so I could try to get to him before he could do anything serious. So he comes forward like this. His Mournfang sweep around fast on the right. His Yetis go backwards towards the objective, which was... I was hoping he'd just come forward to them and I could run around the back, but hey-ho. And then his Thundertusk and Stonehorn come forward tentatively. He realised from the previous game that he couldn't just slam his Stonehorn straight into the front of me, so he didn't do that this time. So in his shooting phase, his Thundertusk decides to shoot the Blood Warriors, kills 3 of them, and that is absolutely no problem whatsoever. I do pass my Battle Shock test though, so there is that. That's good. So we jump to my turn, and I do some stuff. I plant my banner because I just need it to be there. I whip the Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers on the right hand side. And I put Lord of War on them as well. Oh no, sorry, I didn't put Lord of War because they weren't in range to do that. So I just move everything else forward. My Blood Reavers on the left hand side, they just charge off around there. I was playing the long game with them. All they had to do was run around the back to capture the objective. Where his Yetis were. That's all they had to do, and I'd be happy. So that's what they were doing. Because I'm not shooting, we skipped that, so we go straight to the charge phase. And with my Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers having +3 to the charge, they slam straight into the Thundertusk, which is fantastic. I was really, really hoping that I could bring this thing down. I do roll a 6 for my unpredictable destruction, and I bring the entire thing down. Nothing he could have done. I was still hitting on, even though he's -1 to hit, I was +1 to hit. So the falls and it was brutal, and the whole thing just dies and comes crashing down, which is amazing to get rid of that thing so early on, which is absolutely fantastic. That's my only charge, and that's linear combat. So we go to the initiative roll off, and I win it. You're starting to see where this is going. I totally forget about my Blood Reavers on the left hand side. But I whip and charge my Wrathmongers forward, and my Demon Blade wielding Skull Reapers, they go towards the Stonehorn as well. I leave my other Skull Reapers, on the objective. They don't need to go anywhere yet. They are perfectly happy there to see what he does with his Mournfang, because I don't want them sweeping around and running through everything. So, still no shooting, so we go to the charge phase, and my Wrathmongers and Skull Reapers slam straight into the Stonehorn, which is absolutely fine by me. No matter who he attacks, he's kind of damned. If he attacks the Skull Reapers, he's going to get mortal wounds back. If he attacks the Wrathmongers, he's going to kill himself. So he's obviously going to choose to kill the Skull Reapers, but there's no way he should be able to get through all of this bunch without killing himself, so I'm absolutely set here. I do decide to attack with my Wrathmongers first, I believe, and I do put 4 wounds onto the Stonehorn, which is not bad at all. Then he attacks straight back with the Stonehorn, seeing as that's the only combat, and he kills 3 Skull Reapers, which I'm fine with. That's no problem. And then I attack with my Skull Reapers back, and I put another 7 wounds onto him. He's down 9 total. So considering that I get half the number of wounds to go through on them, that's not bad at all. I'm very happy with that. So we jump to his turn, and he moves around a bit. He brings the Yetis a bit further forward to try and help out the I assume to help out the Skull Reapers, and his Mournfang come wrapping around the middle to try and smash through the Skull Grinder and all those to get the objective. He also, on the bottom left-hand corner, you can see, brings in his Hunter and Saber Tusks, and they were going to be fun. In his shooting phase, which he does have a little bit of, he aims some sort of crossbow or spear at my Bloodsecrator, even the banner guy, and he takes a wound off. No big deal. And that's his only shooting to speak of, so we go into the charge phase, and his Mournfangs slam into my Skull Grinder and could kind of get close enough that if he wanted to, he could pile in my Aspiring Deathbringer. I'd be a bit worried, but it'll be okay. Then he attacks first with his Stonehorn, and he does really well. He's able to kill 5 Skull Reapers, so not bad at all. There's only 1 of them remaining left. And I don't roll great on my retaliatory attacks either. I only do a single wound, or I guess 2 wounds, but he only suffers a single wound. So there was that. So I pile with my Skull Grinder, only able to put 3 wounds through on them, so I'm not able to do any more than that, unfortunately, but I can live with that. Then he attacks with his Saber Tusks against my Slaughter Priest and does 4 wounds to me, which was rubbish, but that should be alright. Then I pile with my Aspiring Deathbringer just to see if he can do anything today, and he doesn't do too badly. He actually brings down a Mournfang, which I'm okay with. That's absolutely fine by me. Then his Mournfang attack and just totally delete the Skull Grinder. Wasn't even funny. He couldn't have piled in any more to get my Aspiring Deathbringer, so all his attacks gone him, and that's what happened, which is great. Then I attack with my Wrathmongers, and I'm able to put another wound onto the Stonehorn, which is great. And then I attack with my remaining Skull Reaper, and he really turns it up a notch, and he deletes the whole thing, which is fantastic, absolutely perfect. So he brings down that Stonehorn as the last man standing, and that is the end of that, and I'm very happy. And then my Slaughter Priest turns around and hacks 2 of the dogs apart, which is brilliant. So yeah, no more, half the dogs are left, which is great. And he actually he fails his Battle Shock test, and 1 dog runs away, which is perfect. Sabertooths. They're cats or dogs? I think they're cats, actually. Are they dogs or cats? I'm going to call them dogs. So, anywho, we then jump into the initiative roll-off, and he wins it this time, which is... Actually, that's fine. I can live with that. So he charges his Hunter towards the Bloodsecrator, and he charges his Yetis around the corner towards the Wrathmongers and remaining Skull Reaper. That's it. Blood, skull, blood, skull. And then his Wrathmongers were kind of... Sorry, his Mournfang were kind of tied up with the Aspiring Deathbringer. So he does some charges here. His Yetis pile in here, which should be alright. And that is the only charge he makes. His Hunter actually fails the charge against the Bloodsecrator, which is perfect. I did not want him in combat with him, because that would probably end badly. So he attacks with his Yetis first, puts all his attacks on the Wrathmongers, and kills 2 of them. And then they... and 2 of the Yetis subsequently punch themselves in the face, which was amazing. I love Wrathmongers. So then I attack with my Slaughter Priest, and I'm able to actually hack the remaining pup apart, which is perfect. So no more guys attacking him. So good job, Slaughter Priest. And then he piles in with his Mournfang against my Aspiring Deathbringer. Oof. Does not end well, and he dies. And that is what you get for being there. Fortunately, with his piling moves, he ends up close enough to the Skull Reapers, so I could pile in with them. So they pile in and bring one down, which is lovely. So I was quite happy about that. And then when my Wrathmongers pile in, or Skull Reaper, whoever piles in against the Yeti, just hacks into pieces, no problem. I think this must have been the Skull Reaper doing it. So, yep, lovely. And as it happens, he also, when he piled in, he himself piled in to make sure that he could get the +1 attack from the Wrathmongers when he did so. Obviously, being within 3 inches of the Wrathmonger means that you're going to get hit in the face by them, so they come in piling in and they hack another 4 wounds off them, putting one down to 2 wounds. So those guys are now a bit surrounded and in a bit of a sticky mess. And there you have it. He concedes at this point. The remaining... It was about to be my turn. The Skull Reaper was free of combat. He was just going to move backwards 5 inches, capture that objective that was behind the weird oculum bit of scenery. So I was going to have both objectives at the end of the third battle round, which is lovely. So there you go. There you have it. That's another double victory for the the Khorne Bloodbound. What a game! It was a lot more fun the second time because he was learning his mistakes. So he's still learning the army, and it was a really fun game to have. Really enjoying playing the Beastclaw. It's a really interesting way to play large games very quickly. So I'm quite a fan of that. But there you go. There's 2 games for you lucky things. Please, if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel or leave a comment below letting me know, because I always like the attention. Anyway, I'll see you again soon with another battle report. Cheers, guys. Bye.